All right, as you can see, I'm on a different environment tonight using the Zoom because I'm back in the office. There was some technical with the things that we are looking at, but let's look into what we have for you tonight. And of course, do share this video in your timeline. And right now, we all know the market is correcting, right? And many of you would have seen this and have talked about it in here. But we have one strategy. And of course, many of you would know what strategy we are talking tonight in here that will outperform the market 80% of the time. So don't go away. I'm going to share this strategy with you. And I think some of you who has been with us over the last 3 to 4 weeks would probably know this strategy is a very powerful strategy. Not many people are exploiting this. But of course, we at Volume Spread Analysis Trade VSA, we definitely know this like the back of our heart, and many of you, especially Nora, great support in here for telling your friends, and also we do see some of the members, and this is how we intend to spread this good in here. So a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to tonight's live FB, and we'll be talking about the market is correcting now, and one strategy will outperform the market 80% of the time, even market is correcting right now. So thank you for coming in tonight. And of course, what we'll be sharing in here is how to profit from this market correction. What are the things that we should do? And why is the market correcting here? What's causing it? Some sort of valuation, inflation? Is it stronger ringgit in here? So we'll be talking about that, but not to forget that we will also explore the strategy that work 80% of the time. I've done a lot of testing, and some academic researchers also agreed using this strategy would definitely help you in here. And remember, year 2023 is a year of moderation, and I do think that we are likely to fall in the same situation that we had in year 2022 in here. So definitely those of you who have the Smart Robie or the VSA 360 in here, you definitely have a very excellent tools, which yesterday I did talk about it in the group for our orientation members. Some of you who came for our orientation in here, we've talked about why in the Russian and Ukraine war, why the Russian fare very badly. Anybody can share with me why the Russian didn't do so well compared to the Ukraine, right? Anybody want to share that, right? Just want to test your perception about the Ukraine soldiers versus the Russian soldiers, right? What do you think? Why did the Ukraine perform better? Now, if you look into deep as analysis like me, I always like the analysis. It's partly because a lot of the Russians are not well trained, especially the newer one that is being drafted, the conscript, only have 2 weeks of training, and they use very, very old tools. Now, compared to the Ukraine, right, they were trained about 6 months, right? And then they have the latest weapon in here. So that makes a lot different, despite, the Russian being one of the largest army in the world. So very much in the stock market, in that sense, if you are not trained, all right, how are you going to go into the stock market to do well? All right, and understand, and that's what Nora is also saying, US is behind Ukraine. And when US is behind Ukraine, they are getting the latest tools. And I do think Nora is one of our members in here. So you need to have good tools, good analytic tools, good timing tools, like the Pentagon Guider in here, and then you do well. It's no mystery why some people survive in the stock market, some people perish, all right? And it's got nothing to do with luck. Just imagine if you're not trained, you don't have the weapon, you've been sent to the battlefront, you show kaput, right? And very similar too. So in the stock market, a lot of people, thought they have a little bit of money, they listen to 1 or 2 tips, and then they go in. Yeah, maybe they're lucky, they get a few of them, but eventually many of them kaput and kapel. So that's one of the lessons I said before. So what we do in the VSA 360 orientation, the 3 months, is to orientate many of our members to see the war, to see the stock market for what it is. And tonight, definitely, we'll be talking one strategy that they will be using a lot, especially when the market is correcting now. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube Trade VSA channel. Now, so far, January month, we are already in the February, and right now, the market is still doing very well in the US market. The KLSE is almost unchanged. This is up to January, so it's only minus 0.67, but it's about minus 0.7. The NASDAQ had almost close about 15% looking from the Bloomberg terminal that we have right now. This is partly because when it is down last year, 2022, it was down 33%. So you can see from here, let me just bring up the laser pointer, right? You can see it was down 33%, and then it recovered just in the January month, 10.6%. Dow Jones was down 8.8, it's up 2.6. And then the S&P, which is down almost 20%, right now is back up to 6.2% in here. Hang Seng is up 10%, SGX is 3.9. So what's causing the KLCI in here? Now, there are many theories behind what you're seeing. Some could be geopolitical situation. One is also the valuation in here, or maybe just that the setup, the economic in Malaysia, it doesn't even make it worthwhile to come to invest in the market. There's a few of them, and I will be talking purely on the foreign fund flows. Like it or not, we need a lot of foreign funds to come into our market to do well in here. So that's one of the reasons in here. So eventually the KLCI will catch up to NASDAQ and Dow Jones, but right now it's definitely lagging behind. As I said before, a lot of the markets have moved up. Our market hasn't moved up. But having said that, the small cap for the FKLI Bursa have turned in. Now this slide basically talk about the 2 consecutive bad year, but what we are seeing that we are likely to see a good year ending in the US market. If you look at it from the slide in here, US S&P 500 generally returned a better year after one bad year. Now, if you look back, the global financial crisis in 2008, there were minus 37% return. Then the market came back and had a very good year, 2009. Then we had the dot-com crash, year 2000 to 2002. The market was worse off, minus 22%. And then 2003, it came back with a 28%. 1974, all right, we have the embargo crisis. Market was down minus 26%, and then came back 37%. So that's why you notice the S&P 500 just for this month is up 6%, and maybe on average it will come back to 20%. So if you are in early right now, and I did talk to some of our members what kind of ETF stocks you want to be buying, right? I think I shared with you in here. That's the one you want to be looking at, and you have a good chance to look at it. Very important to pay notice, but eventually, that's what we talk about, people believing and back testing it in here, getting the right training, like what Nora is saying. The tools is important, but also paying attention to the market. Now if you see at this NASDAQ, this is a technology sector in US. Every year when we have a bad year, right? Now, if you look at the VSA 360, many of you have seen the last 6 years of KLCI, all negative. But if you look at here, this is 40% and 40% down. One bad year, this was during the Black October. One bad year, maybe just about 10-12%. You notice the next year, it came back with a strong fall. So what this also tells you that the US Federal Reserve, and also they have some sort of what we call PPP team, protection plunge team. They come in and rescue the stock market. So earlier on, I talked about the dot-com crash, 3 consecutive bad year. Then market rebounded. 2008, you all know, right? The global financial crisis rebounded back. Then 2018, we have the tariff war between President Trump at that time and also the China Trump. So they started the tariff war, and then the market retreated, but eventually rebounded almost 38%. Now, remember, just now I should share with you, the NASDAQ was minus 33% in 2022. So right now it's already close to about 11%. But if you calculate to 14th of February, it's close to about 14.6%. So we might hit that 30%. So I already give you a warning, right? The US NASDAQ definitely is going to come back and avenge it. This is actually a no-brainer, right? If you listen to it. So that's why I always tell many of our members in here, if you want to make money in the longer term, think to focus on the US side. And about accounts opening, I've shared with you before, use the Rakuten, which is the online trading. It's not that difficult in here. It's just that many people are just slow to react in seeing the opportunity that we normally see in here. Now, if you look at the S&P 500, even longer period, going back to 1930s, and this has always been a very, very good reference market in here. We have the Great depression. I don't think many of you were born at that time. Then we go on to the 1959 bad year, up year, bad year, up year, bad year, up year, bad year, up year. 2 bad year, the 75. 2 bad year, up year, bad year, up year, bad year, up year, bad year, up year. Then we got the .com crash, 3 consecutive bad year, up year. Then we have the 2008 bad year, up year. Then we have the 2018 bad year, up year. Then we have the 2022, which is the inflation induced by the Russian-Ukraine war, and immediately the market is up. So right now, even the beginning of February, I'm already telling the public, many of you who is listening now, and also our public, one of the best way to make money right now is actually looking at the US market. It's almost a no-brainer in here by just looking at the statistical return that we've seen so far right now in here. Now, the figures came out last night. With regards to the inflation, I think many of you are looking at it and they were kind of worried looking at it. It is still slowing down. You notice for the month of December, which was released in January, and for the January 2020 was released last night, so they are always 1 month late. You can see the figures are dropping. So this also tells you that inflation is coming down, but not coming down as fast. And that's why we see the interest rate rise is getting slower. Now, this is a very important schedule of, which has always explained why 2022, we have the big fall that we see. Now, remember the war came in February 2022, right? It started on 23rd, and many of you may have come to my live Facebook. We've been talking for almost 1 year here, huh? Right? I think Nora and some of the others has been listening to me for a year. And you could see when the inflation came, I did make a comment that the war would not last more than 3 months. Long and behold, it's already now 1 year already, right? We did not expect Ukraine to be able to hold on and then Russia not able to. But we did talk about earlier on, being trained using the modern weapons versus untrained using the old method. Now, similarly, so when you ask yourself, when you come into the stock market, are you being trained or not? All right? The longer you take your time being trained and you're not using the right tools, you're not going to win in the war, and then you're going to end up like the attrition. The longer you're going to be in the market, the worse it comes. So that's why it doesn't make sense to me. Someone wanted to invest in the stock market, not willing to invest in their training, not willing to invest in their tools, right? We're able to do well. It doesn't serve the logic. Just look at what we have seen with the Russian troop versus the Ukraine troop. I was told by listening to the CNN, the Ukraine are usually trained about 6 months, and they will go to Poland, they'll go to Germany in here. They've been drafted. You know, they're just some of the people that you're seeing in Ukraine, soldiers, right? They are like, architect, they are engineer, they are mechanics, right? All this, they're just normal people, but after 6 months, they become a fighting soldier. And the same goes with the Russian, the recent conscript that they took them back, right? But they are just given 2 weeks because the government don't care about them, the Russian government either. So here in Trade VSA, we're really concerned for our members and also those of you who are listening in here. And we try to explain what is happening in the market. And then we put you in an environment where you're able to do virtual trading, which is our 3-month orientation of the VSA program that we are doing here. So going back to this point, here we are trying to explain why the market is. So as the market was dropping, right, we saw in March as the war started to prolong in here, the Federal Reserve was trying to counter the inflation rate. So normally they can counter inflation rates, they will raise interest rate. By raising interest rate, they hope to cut consumption, because when things are more expensive, right, they will pull back on the spending, then inflation comes down. So they started in May with 50 basis point, tak cukup. June, tak cukup, they go on to a 75 basis point, which is 0.75. Then July, 0.75. September, 0.75. Then November, 0.75. So you notice that the market just seems to drop until December, right? And then December recover, right? January recover. Why? This is all based on US Federal Reserve policy of raising interest rate. They just did one in January, 25 basis points. So they put a break already. No more 75 basis point. No more 0.75%, now 25. So why the market is going up is because the figure you saw just now, inflation is coming down, so they are slower. So when they are slower, they also raise slower. So the market is anticipating that this thing will even slow down. So when they slow down, that's what all the technology stocks are rallying right now. So what we are seeing in here is a policy that caused by the US Federal Reserve, and pretty much the recession, if there is one for 2023, it's going to be caused by the Federal Reserve in here. So take note of that. So after second half of the year, we'll see the market rise. So second half of the year is going to be a very, very significant if there is a pulse in the interest rate. So pay attention to the inflation figures that I did talk about in here. Now for KLCI, something I showed you last week, KLCI is fairly predictable for now. This is from a VSA 360. So you could see every year also lose money. All right, don't put your hope so much on Malaysia. 1 year we will come back on. I think maybe 2024. Give time for Anwar, for the 10th Prime Minister to set up all the policies. Even this year, he already said no GST. He will try to look for a way to save money, but that's not going to be good. We still need revenue. Right? And remember, when he first came in, Pakatan 2018, we were only about 900 billion debt. Now we're about 1.4 trillion. And you all know about the Bersatu and the COVID, how much money been siphoned out. So we've been losing a lot of money in here. Not until the Prime Minister of Anwar able to address this, then we'll see 2024 or maybe 2025, the market will recover. So right now, the KLCI will become a trading ground. If you get a small profit, 10, 12%, take it, okay? So that's why the strategy we talk about. So I want to give you an overview where we are. Now, compared to US, like Tesla, for the last 1.5 months, is up 60%. You can get that. On the small cap stocks, you can also get that for the Malaysian one. But on those of you who are on the blue chip side, you will find it very difficult because the KLCI is pretty much based on the blue chip. Small cap stocks, you take your 10, 11, 12%, come back in and then trade again. Because there are a lot of time the market will have a big sell-off, like what we saw previously in the HECTEC, we saw the MYEG. So those kind of stock will happen a fair bit. Even I think previously there's another one, a sell-off, a 9%, 10%, so they will come back again. Right, so these are the big scares that we see a lot in the market in here. And if you are a beginner and if you are not trained, definitely is one of those big seller will scare the hell out of you. So that's why we always talk about being training well, and it's all important part and parcel. So after what I've said here, do you agree? Would we have a market crash? What do you think? All right, let me know. Put it in your comment on that one. And thank you, Nora. We have 50 old people in here. I do like to see some of your comments and some participation, so make it a bit more lively in here. Nora has been a great support. I really appreciate cut Nora right in here. And no sound. Can you hear or not? Got sound or not? Got lah, I think got sound, right? Let me know if there's no sound. So far only one person and no sound. Got sound, okay? So let's push on. All right. So what we are likely to see for our Malaysian market is going to be a consolidation market. Sangkut tak boleh naik punya. All right. 150 pun tak boleh naik. We are trying to break above that, which I'll talk about on my next slide in here. Now, this is the KLCI you see right here. No, we broke below the 200-day moving average. Let me just bring here. We broke below the 200 moving average. Then we sell off, right? We sell off just like the US because of interest rate. We sell off, then come back up again. And that's really a good sign. So as we dip above the 200-day moving average, right, more and more, but the 1,500 has to be a catalyst level in here. We got 1, 2, 3, third one, the fourth one is going to come. So the question is, what is the catalyst that's coming right now? In order to see this breakdown, that's why we are seeing correction in here. We have to see. Right now, it's above the 200-day moving average, which is a really good thing. The longer it keep above the 200-day moving average, right, which is we call it the Great Wall of China, that's where institutional come in, it's much better in here. Now, this is the deciding point. This is again from the VSA 360, one of our premium package in here. You will notice, right, the foreign funds continue to sell off, but the last 2 days, we have the foreign funds coming in the buy. You can see when they are buying, they push it up. One small element ni, satu kali masuk net inflow, market goes up. And you can see here, after we have 4 or 5 days, market chum. Because you see, this last year was window dressing now. So I'm trying to figure out and really want to inform our audience who listen out, right? what will be those policies, okay, that will push our market up and allow foreign funds to come in. That's the key thing in here. Is it a Transparency Act that we have less corruption? Or is it we open up and have less tax? I really don't know the answer. Or are we looking into a stronger ringgit? Even a stronger ringgit is dependent on China in here. But we have seen so far the foreign funds hasn't been coming yet. And many of the policies that we are trying to do are not attracting this. And so far, they also find it very difficult, right? They find it very difficult, and the problem is they're not able to move beyond the 150. We definitely need foreign funds to come in here, right? Need more, okay? So if you look at the US side, right, why we continue to look at the 200-day moving average? This is the Dow Jones. It is broken in, and some of the things we talk about. Yeah, I like that Nora followed Indonesia Jokowi. Really look into it, but we can't go on big spending infrastructures, right? Tak ada duit lah, no GST. So I think Anwar what is trying to do is trying to bersihkan all the tabung-tabung yang mana koyak punya kan, semua bersihkan. So that's why it's trying to do what we do, spring cleaning lah, like we do in Chinese New Year kan. Sekarang puasa pun nak datang juga kan. So when puasa come, you need to do spring cleaning, and that's after that spring cleaning, maybe 2024 we have a better market from here, right? So if you look from here right now, this is the Dow Jones. You can see here, market broke into the 34,000. Very similar, right? Malaysia is 150. So 34,000 sangkut. So right now, again, it was anticipating to break, right? Because of the CPI figures. But the CPI figure came out not so good, 6.41. If it go below 6, then there is a likelihood that Federal Reserve may not want to raise that much or even postpone. Then you'll see you'll break up to 35,000. If you break up 35,000, that's too soon. But I do know and pretty confident this year, again, I may be wrong, just like I was wrong about the Russian-Ukraine war, which will complete in 3 months, and then you have, Ukraine under Russia. At that time, we didn't know much about, Ukraine and President Zelensky in here being an actor, but now we know that guy can tahan, man. Just like our Prime Minister, Malaysia. So here again, we would like to see the market just holding up sideways. Don't be too enthusiastic that this market can break higher right now. But the good thing is it is above the 200 moving average. So one strategy looking into Malaysia context, because many of you are looking into that, will outperform the market. And of course, lo and behold, right, is this strategy, the insider buying and selling, now which is available right now. So this is something that we launched after Chinese New Year. Just before Chinese New Year, I believe, yeah, before Chinese New Year in January, and for our members, they're able to access the insider buy and sell guided chart, right? So all this, I think this is not the first time in here, but I'd like to talk about some of the strategies which I think will work 80% of the time, even the market is correcting in here. Now, this is from Peter Lynch, one of the greatest so-called growth fund manager in Magellan. He had bring many of the trade, and he's also very interested to see the insider. He said that insider might sell shares for many reasons, right? But when they start to buy, they think the price will rise, right? That's very important in here. Now, so much so that 2011, there was a couple of students doing PhD for University of Putra, Malaysia, right? And they wrote the insider transaction, the effect of insider trading in the market efficiency and volatility. And they examined many of the transactions, close to about 5,600 transactions in here from 70 stocks from 1st of July to 2008. So a very comprehensive 5-year study. And then they concluded that you can make between 3 to 30% from 8 months to 3 years, the holding period in here. And this is within the expectation. So if you are doing insider buying, right, we don't target 30% lah, and we don't want to hold for 3 years, especially now we know market correction. So usually if you can get 10% and there's still some insider buying, there's no connect. So in here, many of you have known, we combine insider buying with VSA setup, all right, and also technical fundamental things. So this is the kind of training that we want to inform the member. Now, if you are really interested, especially some of the new one here, join our program in here. And for our members, I keep saying that this is the best setup that you can have. Look at the VSA setup. If you have NS, all right, then you have a support, with sign or strength, stage 1 accumulation. Those are the things that we will talk about in here, which is very clear. Now, if you are a beginner, you do not know what I'm talking, that's something you might want to sign up for our 10-day trial and find out more about this inside buying, because right now we are giving those tools to our member. And what you're seeing right now, some of the charts on the following slides are the new weapons, the new weapons that we are giving to our students so they can go out and fight this stock market war, right? And that's why I'm saying you don't have the tools. That's why it's very hard for you to find. So definitely here you can see the abnormal profit in here is 3.2%. Thank you, Nora, Insider, VSS, and Technicals. That is awesome in here. And that makes it so much better in here. So 3% abnormal return up to 120 days. Now, I want to draw your attention in here, especially right now. The theme is correction. So we are talking about correction. Let's look into 2022 where we have two zones. I look for the two zones where the Pentagon is red and we have the yellow trend zone. So this was the bear market zone. Came in the 5th of May to 13th of July. Then we have a nice rally just the mid-July into the mid-August where the market recovered back. They thought that, this was the election. That's right. Election was in November, right? So there was something happening. I can't remember last year in the August market recovered, but the US side was definitely the inflation figure bottom in June. So the market recovered and this market recovered in here. And then eventually the market turned for worse. Foreign funds start to leave. Then we have the zone 2, which is from the 19th August to 14th of August. So during these two periods, what we especially pay attention is look for insider buy. Okay, insider buy. I keep saying insider buy. So when there's some insider buy, like what Nora saying, the VSA setup, the technical setup, and if it's the good fundamental stocks, that's one you can go big on it. But most of these insider buy that we see, a lot of them, they don't do well. The company don't do so well. They're struggling here. But again, what Peter Lynch also said that when insider are buying huge beach, like 10 million and 20 million shares, you have to pay attention in here. So let's take a look at the first one. So first one, go back to 5th of May, 13th of July, is Harlin. Okay, did I get right? Harlin. So what I'm going to do is to go over to the VSA 360 here. Then you're able to see this market. Okay, now remember we are showing Harlin. All right, so Harlin Corporation, and we go back to last year, May timeframe. So once you get into the VSA 360, click on this one, and today the market did hold up. So we extend the chart, so you get a wider chart that you see in here, and then go into 12 months here. All right, so this is where you'll be very surprised. You can see a lot of OT transfer, right? So this is where cannot buy anymore. There's something going on in here. You can see a lot of transfer, 8.9 million. This is like family transfer to brother transfer. So banyak. Transfer means shareholder 1 to shareholder 2. All right. There were a lot of buying here. Right. You can see buying, low go here. But this was not what we are interested in. But the market did go higher. So usually when you see a series or a lot of this buying, generally a few days later, the market will zoom back up. But when you see a lot of transfer, then some shares already transferred, right? But the attention one we want to pay was back in May. Do you remember that time market was bearish, and you can see a Mr. Low Kwek Kong. So we want to know who is Mr. Low Kwek Kong here. We can, once you go on to number 5, click on number 5, then you can see the profile. Oh, it's an MD lah. Okay, it's an MD, and what do this company do? They make wood or plantation. Okay, they're plantation. All right. So here you can see 1.9 million. Low family lah, company. Tan Sri Low. This one maybe the father lah, deceased already. Then you got Low Kwek Kiong, Datin, the wife lah, right? 1.9 million, 1.9 million, 1.9 million, 1.9 million. So there were lots of buying in here, and the market stabilized. And plantation also not doing too bad. But you look at this company. If you look at it, interesting enough, it didn't make money. The ROE is actually negative. So they're really struggling. Having said that, but if you have 8,000, that stocks has done pretty well over the last, if you look here from the weekly chart, the last 4 years, kaboom, really jalan 65%, 46%, and there was a lot of huge buying. So right now here, I don't see anything yet. Okay, so if I want to buy this stocks, definitely I want to be seeing this kind of setup in here, then the market goes. Okay, so these are the things that I want to discuss with you, so you can really look into it. Local institution don't count. Local institution is like Amir asked the question. Yes, last week I already said anytime an EPF buy semua tipu orang punya, KWAP buy semua tipu. But if you look at company like Credo, mungkin kan, or you look at enterprise which belongs to the family, right? Because usually EPF and KWAP, they're managing so many, it doesn't make sense. So that's why when you look at the insider, right, you need to exclude EPF, exclude kebajikan, KWAP, pekerja, perkaso semua kan, those buying one KWAP jangan gunakan, okay? So that's why, Amil, you need the VSA insider and buy chart. So make sure you get hold of it, all right? And let's look at the next one in here. We're going to be looking at is the Perak Transit. Okay, now Perak Transit also owned by a family, but previously was masuk by Andy Ong lah. So after Andy Ong already, the market really go up very fast. I'm trying to look for my 360 here. Okay, here, right? So here we go to Perak Transit. Okay, so you go to Perak Transit, and this one is Andy Ong in here. So you notice right now, this market, we go back up to 112 month, and you can see there's a lot of transfer. But before the transfer, that was the May time. So after they already pushed the price, I think that there are some passing on to the family. Now, one of the things I noticed after talking to a few executives about how company intention to push up their share price. So one of the reasons why they push up the share price, one only, is because if the share price is higher, they usually use this share, especially their stakeholder insider, to pledge to the bank as collateral to borrow more money. And then they can use the money for all kinds of things, business or buy other companies. So this is why sometimes when the insider buy a lot of the share, they don't sell. They just hold it, they push the share price, because at the end of the day, they are the one collecting it, no seller. So the bid and ask, you must have stock only you can bid and you can ask, right? So you cannot just put it there only, short selling, remember? So this is why when they already collected all this, right, they'll push up the stock price. Once a while, it will drop, but they are not worried because why? They are really holding up the share. And if they know their company is good, just like what Peter Lynch say, right? It's profitable, they have an outcome, they won't hold a shitty company one, okay? Because if a shitty company, what they do, they will transfer. That's why you see all this transfer out, transfer left, right? Then the company could be a shell company, semua mati lah. They transfer to this shell company in here. So I'll talk about that one. So earlier on, if you notice, Perak Transit, early on in May, you see a lot of buying. And that's why the stock goes up around, 60 cents. Right now, you see a lot of transfer. So there's a lot of transfer to individual, some of these. So to me, the trend already ends. No more. In order the trend to go up again, it has to have buying. All right. So that is something an observation. As I see more of this one, really want to share Iman. Okay. So the next one. Okay. So you're enjoying this talk? If you're enjoying that, give me a thumbs up. Okay. We're gonna go a few more here. All right. So next one we have here is power routes. Okay. Let's go with power routes. So power routes in here. And you need to have the insider buying and selling in here. And of course, some of you don't have it. You want to try it out. Check out our 10-day free trial worth $280 in here. There's some information on the website here as well here. So you can go on to this one here and you look at power routes. Okay, so look at power routes. Again, we go back to where the buying is. You notice, right? Because you think very carefully. When the companies start to buy a lot, they know, right, this time they're not going to make money. But next year or 6 months down the road, they will know they will make money. That's why you notice a lot of buying on the left-hand side of the chart inside here. Here, some of them are EPF, but I just want to pay attention to the individual companies, the individual one that you can see here, right? Lo Jun Lee, 260,000. EPF got buy, got sell one, okay? Then Wong Tak Kiong. So let's go to Wong Tak Kiong, siapa itu? Wong family Wong Tak Kiong. Click on that one. Senang to find, right? Wong Tak Kiong, CEO. So when CEO is buying, Dia pun tahu juga lah, kan? So here he buy. So here you notice there was call to hold. Okay, call to hold here. Yeah, and then suddenly a call to hold. Then here call to buy already. See, I call to buy $2.40. Okay, almost there already. Then then here they start transferring already. Transfer, call to buy 235. Some more buying here. Okay, a few more 600. KWAP buy. KWAP buy. This one not much good. Here, this one I think sometimes the institutional also they follow the analysts. You can see analysts ask you to buy, right? 240 at this time was about maybe 210. They buy lah, because if you are fund manager in institutional, you baca itu punya analyst cakap, right? So analyst cakap bayar, beli, you beli lah. So but of course we don't do that lah. We also look at the setup, like what Nora say, right? Where you look at the VSA. So you just open up the chart and you study a bit. If you, especially many of the members that we know, a lot of them don't want to cut loss on. They want to buy and hold forever. So it's better you study, the insider buying and selling in here. Okay. Okay. Now it's 10:15. I better move on. A lot more to cover actually. Then there's another one, CFM, computer forms. You can see, let's take a look in computer. There are many of these examples that we want to go through, right? And so that's why it's important that you get hold of the charts. You get hold of the charts and then you can study it. We'll study this CFM, right? Again, right? And so that's why I said before, the subscription will pay off by itself eventually. Right? So what do you have to lose for? Right? Imagine not getting this information, not having the weapons, to go into the war and you fight. Mati kiao kiao. So here you will notice he bought a lot during here, right? But he only managed to sell here. Dato Tan Sri 660K, 1.5 million. It's so here, never mind, right? Still cheaper. But then he sells some more here, you can see, right? But the early on, this is an interesting one. He said 200K, 228, 25K. 131K, 168K, 56, 4.9 million, right? 1.6 million. Then up here start to sell. Here is starting to buy again, okay? But the buying was big one here, 5.1 million, 5.5 million. Here is another 58. Okay, never mind. We switch to 3 months. You can see buying. So we also want to see the selling. Banyak tak? 38, 2 million selling. So here also distributing. Just take note. Another 50K, another buy. So here, 50-50, yeah. But if I really want to buy CFM, right, I'll be very careful first because I don't see a lot of huge buying that we see in here. So usually they also do what very smart investors. They smart money buy on dip. I keep saying they buy on dip, which means they also do bottom fishing because they know the true value of the company. So right now, if you look at CFM, is it bottom fishing? Definitely not. It's not bottom fishing. But when the market break below here, this is where the support here, this is definitely bottom fishing right now in here. All right. So that's really one of the big takeaway too in here. Okay. I want to move on faster. So another one, MGRC also same, but I want to get on to zone 2. Okay. Zone 2, we cover a fair bit. So next one is Cheetah Global. All right. Cheetah Global. I have put up a lot of examples. Right, but unfortunately, due to the time constraint, we're not able to wheel all of them in here. But I think you all get the gist of it, right? Am I right? If you all get the gist of it in here, give me a thumbs up in here. All right. So again, Cheetah Global, very interesting. You all know the Agong punya ada kan Cheetah Global. You can see from here. I think the Sultan beli here 59 million. Miss Cheng Siu Chong, okay. Mohan here. This one, this one is a king one. I think Cheetah Global. Okay, Cheng Siu Kong. Which one is it? I think here ada punya. Okay, let me go back. Scroll here. There Agong beli 32 million share. You see when he buy it, 59 million and 59 million. So this one transfer, same amount, right? I think this one wife lah, Mr. and Mrs. Husband, wife, and then Agong masuk. Agong masuk beli at 21 cent. Then he got buy any more not. Then another Mohan beli at 10%. So Cheetah Global, then from 20 cent Agong beli, then here I got buy some more. He bought a bit more. So I don't think this stock will, but now will start to transfer lah. Many of this company will start to transfer. You see that? See, so this is where they buy. When already up there, they transfer because they don't want to sell. So, but they may pledge those shares, right, as a collateral to get more. So every time when you see this OT, transfer, you see, instead they transfer to other company. I always very suspicious of this kind of thing. There is a modus operandi, which I have not sold yet, but that also tell you right now, Cita Global, Tada Trend, sudah habis ini, sudah transfer out already. Okay. Okay, I hope you all liked it in here. So let's do one more before we wrap it up. I don't want to take too long of your time. What we have for you, because we want to keep it, maybe next week we'll come back and cover some of these again in here. So let's do one more example here that I have is looking into my news. Okay, my news, MYEG, my news. So let's go to this MY news. These are all study the past, okay? And we're going to be looking at 3 stocks which are looking right now in here. And let's take a look at this one here. Open up the chart, go to 12 bulan. Right, and this is where we talk about in September when the market was down. You can see here, so they must have bought lot on the way down, they will sell, EPF selling there, EPF selling. So sometimes I don't understand why EPF sell, and then finally my news, then they bought, see EPF bodoh punya semua so. Then siapa beli sini, never buy anymore. They see that? They sold off, right? Mr. Dang here, Dang semua beli, then the market go up. The EPF bodoh punya, sometimes I say that, sorry, those people who work in EPF, they sell right at the bottom. I so blur, tell you, right? And then market go up now, so sometimes, institutional, what to do? But the employee is fund manager, you know. So you all now know this one. All right, call to buy, Kenangan Benny, call to buy, 80 sen here, right? So this also tells you, you know, the way how, you know, the overall management is a good indicative food. Can send pump and dump counter, you can definitely see that in here, all right? So what happens if insider sell? Okay, what happened to insider sell? You can see when there are a lot of selling, no more buying, like Sedania, the stock sudah mati. So this one you have to pay attention, no? So let's say you want to goreng the share, you look back to last 6 months, got any insider buying or not? If they have, how to go up? So the job of the BSA trader using insider buying, you need to decipher this. You need the insider buy and sell charts here, like what you see inside here. It's a valuable chart, and I do think that the time and money invested in, you will definitely get your reward back. Now, why it works? One reason why it works is when I'm talking about buying, when insider is buying, there is an increased investor confidence. You know, like when Agong buy Cita Global, kalau Agong don't think he can make money, you think he will buy, right? Can you imagine if you know that information earlier, you believe, you also make money on Cita Global, kan? So the other thing is alignment of interest between company insider and shareholder. Shareholder, people like me lah. So when a lot of shareholders started to buy, right, follow the insider, I think that's good also lah. But we all know in Malaysian context, don't hold so long. But we also know the research have shown you can hold it up to 114 days. Or some of them hold it up to about berapa bulan. You go back to the slide and you look at it. But it's also a positive sign for the market, especially insider, especially the good one. They always buy on dip. They buy on market bottom. So sometimes when we investors don't dare to buy on dip, market turun saja takut. Sometimes we also average down. Okay, so if you know a lot about the company, you know about the insider, maybe averaging down it's actually a good thing. And finally, number 4. The improved corporate governance. By improved corporate governance, I think this is where the Capital Act and also the Company Act 2016, which I discussed last Wednesday about the rules. If you don't disclose, you can now fine $1 million. All these so-called insider could be the business owner, the family members, the CEO, the directors. They all have to disclose, and then it provides a transparency and accountability. This is what I call friendly insider. Like we all know Tan Sri Vincent Tan is a very friendly insider. And in many ways also Eddie Ong also, you know, classic cynic. I have another example there, but I didn't have time to go through it. Was also another example. He actually disclosed of it. But there are others right? Like you check out Genting, you will not see any insider buying or selling when the stock market go up. And also check out AirAsia too, looking at Tony Fernandez and Kamarudin, whether they will buy and sell inside here. You'll definitely know a bit, okay? Of course, some of the benefit, how to use it, I think I've shared with you before in here. So definitely, like Nora said, combining the insider buying and selling in here, and you will know what to avoid and not to avoid, right? And remember, differentiate between the directors versus the institution, which will address Amil question here. All right. And all our charts are labeled in here. We have C/B, call to buy by analyst, C/S, call to sell. Very hard to find sell one now. All buy, or hold only. Every day buy, no sell one. Insider buying, insider selling. We have the B and the S. And then we have the transfer, where they transfer company now. When the market higher, you notice there's always a pattern. They transfer to company ABC, so I don't know. And then maybe that company is pledged to the bank to borrow some more money inside here. All right. And then others are bonus issue here. So here are some of the older examples you have seen, right? And this is a classic example why CY Park went 150%, just go bonkers. But it's a long distribution. From August, September, October, they wait for everybody to buy, because remember, smart money buy on wholesale. They slowly buy, okay? And then they sell slowly, okay? There's up 150%, time to take profit. Then Toyo Wen, if you can see this, a very nice buy setup here. Right, it's stage 1 accumulation. So they always buy on deep intel, but you have to have patience, right? Once you have patience, you see those insider buy, you can follow along too. And that's why I said before, eventually the stocks will go up 58% in here. But of course, in life, there's nothing for certain, right? Here we can see for Carex, right? Before they were around the 40 cent, then went up to 80 cent. They knew there was some analysts call to buy it. But previously, they were high-flying stocks, and because of the COVID, a lot of people having less what we call intimacy. They use less of their product, so itu macam. But now sudah buka balik everybody want intimacy. Then Carex sell well lah. You all know what Carex do, isn't it? Right? No need to say. Now this is also Tune Pro market reopening. You can see this is Kamarudin actually buying that. Right? You can just mouse over it. You'll notice. And also some of the CEO are buying, right? They always buy on dip. So sometimes I also say the insider, they are not bodo. They are very smart. They also know stage 1 accumulation because they know the true price of the company, because they can calculate, hey, my value of my company maybe worth 50 cents. Now 25 cents can buy. And you can see that base already support inside. So there's some mathematical algorithm to volume spread analysis. And this is actually given by the insider buying and selling. So remember last week, we talked about Jinhin, Inta, and PE Trans, which is of 1st of February, okay? 1st of February in here, you can see Jinhin still going up, okay? Perak, okay, let's look at Jinhin here, right? As much here. This was the current stocks we were looking at. So you can see Jinhin here, still going up, right? And you can see still got people buying. Even semalam saja tengok siapa beli ni. Oh, 1,000K. Banyak ni. Datuk. Then another one. 2 million. Wow, Datuk really hantam 2 million, man. Another one. Another 2.4 million. So you tell me, boleh naik tak Jinhin? Oh, look at this one. Suma, this one. Lots of buying in here. You can see. So no transfer yet. This stock boleh jalan sikit. We already observed since 1st of February in here. So this is ongoing lah. Right? So let's find out who is this. Siapa ni? Datuk Sri Chiao Beng Tek. Okay, let's take a look. Siapa ni? Datuk Sri Chiao Beng Tek. Click here. Oh, this is from Signature, not independent. This is from Signature. Stock is Jinhin. Oh, I think this one one is a kitchen mania. This one is property. Jinhin is property, isn't it? Yeah. So there's some sort of something going on lah. You can study the relationship lah. Right? So this one, see, same gang one. Andy Ong lah, Eddie Ong lah, semua sini. So pay attention. You can study the relationship inside there. But definitely Jinhin boleh naik some more in here. Okay. Then we have the next one is Perak Transit one. Just now I think we talked about it in here. Never mind. We can take a look at Perak Transit. Let's take a look at this chart. So you can see Perak Transit. lot of transfer at the top here. You can see a $1.40, another transfer here, 2.3 million to CB. So once they transfer to a company, not so good anymore. They transfer to individuals, so I'm a bit suspicious. Then there was one buying 6.2 million. Then here another transfer, 800K. They're trying to transfer the share at the lower prices, maybe perhaps, right? But definitely the buy here is missing. The clump of buying, we do see that in Chin Hin right now. So continue to observe Chin Hin, those of you who have the VSA 360 in here. And last but not least, which we are looking at, Inta. Okay, Inta. Yes, Inta Banner, another construction company, rated 2 only in here. That we have a lot of buy in here. You can see 3K, 33K, 5K, small amount of 5K is very little only. 140K, 700 lagi sikit, 227, 50K, 200K. This one used the wife to buy one, madam. 200K. That the company also buy in here. Then last buy 33K. But we have this sell-off, moderate volume here. But I do think that Intan will hold. Okay. They make decent. I suppose the ROE is 6%. It's a property. FAD pay 4% dividend. Not too bad. Very small cap. You can see 130 million in here. But if the owner are buying this, you can see here. Siapa ni? Kok Chin Lim Wei Ju. Kok Chin Xiao Lim. This one is actually could be not. Excuse me, not the CEO. All right. Teo Hock Chun. Tengok siapa ni? Teo Hock Chun is the MD, okay, strategic for Intan. All right, so, but he's not buying, okay, he's not buying here. So pay attention. Let's see whether these stocks can go higher. You can go a bit more in depth to study them. All right, so that having said that, we have studied those 3 stocks, okay. So why people are appalled to insider buying? So they say that, look, insider buying is illegal. But when you have that information, you will do very well. And that's what I did. I bought into MWP last week because I see a series of buying in here. And it's still going up, right? We saw what MWP did. I think some of you may have also bought the same share when I was talking about it last week. So MWP, but it will take a while in here. It did hit high, this part here, but the market eventually turned back down. All right, and now still holding up at the same level. Even today, it's still at the 27.5 inside here. But trend is still up. So that's, to me, it's still a good thing in here. All right. So we're coming to the end of, to this in here. Insider buying for the benefit 223 is definitely has a lot of benefits. We talk about those already in here. Right. Check out in here. Nora did ask which counter less dividend. We have to look for that. I don't have it with me in here. Okay. Then there's another question here. Project supply within the group. I think you're looking at that. All right. So on top of that, one of the benefits of VSA 360 is also we have the portfolio. These are for the longer terms in here, and we do monthly balancing. So we actually update you what are the stocks. And right now, it has done pretty well, up 10% in here. And this started in January 3rd. Okay, now remember, these are not technology stocks. These stocks are those that is rated 5, and you can follow them. All right, you can follow them on your own portfolio. And it's more like a model in here. And what we're trying to do using weekly chart, we also have the US side, we have the Malaysian side, and Singapore side. So what we are doing coming this March 2023, and for those of you who have just joined us, and we invite you to join us as our VSA member in here, sign up for our package in here. We are starting the insider buying portfolio in March with monthly rebalancing. So similar to the first portfolio of the dividend, we're going to be doing this so you can also follow it. If the stock doesn't perform well, we also do a monthly rebalancing. Another benefit for being members in here. Now, doing well is going to be tough for 2023, as I said before, but the US market certainly looks much better than the Malaysian market. So right now, with the VSA 360, with the right tools, you will be well trained using the best tools or analytics in here with the power of insider buy and sell. So what's ahead of us in the KLCI? We do see resistance at 1500. The support level is 1460. That is the danger point, right? Immediately you could see CNS, right? You all know, right? No supply. really work, right? And Zach is a big proponent, big supporter of the NS screener in here. And those one will really get you out in good times. And as we have seen right now, NS came, market rally. It's going to go back to test. And also notice the last 2 days, we have foreign funds buying in here, right? So it rallied away from a danger light level there at 1460. Just waiting for it to turn green Pentagon. And of course, US has to turn first, then only Malaysia will turn. So keep an eye tonight, 10:30 when market opens. So we have the 7 framework to build the trading portfolio for 2020. If you have not joined us, I highly recommend and invite you to join it. If you are already a member, we are starting our 6 months orientation, which is also part of monthly training in the second week of March. So make sure you join that if you are already signed up for our members in here. Lots of great goodies, right? And Nora, you should also come to the orientation, which we did yesterday. And the next one we're starting next month on the second Tuesday of the month. So make sure to start that, and we'll get you to prepare, right? The kind of market you want to trade, and also able to look at your performances, how well you have done. And then we want to train you just like the Ukraine soldiers. Then you will fare better, and your chance of survival and making money in 2023 is definitely going to be great. And that's what we do. So bring out the best of TradeBS has been great. We completed the last batch, the last 3 months. I'm just going to share with you the result that you see here. Fantastic results. Sometimes I still don't believe inside. So you can see there are, everybody make money, right? From a portfolio of $50,000 in here. Some are doing 22 trades up to 700, like trading like a robot, right? Basically, these are like stockists, 400 over, and making millions from in here. No doubt, these are just virtual trading, but they are using a lot of this momentum screener like our intraday alert, our Pentagon guided, and you can see the end result for our orientation member leaders. Definitely all of them actually made money. The top 10 were great result, and a great thank to all of this in here. And definitely we again invite you to start off with the essentials. Get the training first, so you see some sort of success. If you have not been successful and really struggle in a lot of your stock market trading and analysis in here, why not give us a go? Come and train with us. Get the latest tool, the insider buy and sell guide. That will make a difference. After all, we are the inventor of the Pentagon Guider now, coming to you with insider buy and sell. Right, very easy to do. Great review, continue to get on, and we really appreciate for many of you been great support like Nora. We thank you again, and few others more for our members in here. Right, and Gerald, if you have not tried our 10-day trial, use the QR code here to activate it for 2888, and you will find many benefits. And our training will start next month. It is in here. Or sign up for our package, giving you the mover advantages in here. All right, and that's all we have for tonight. Don't forget to sign up for our Telegram chat room and be informed for my weekly podcast that I do every week, including in here. And we are here for supporting you until you are successful. All right, that's where fully trained with the latest technological aid in here. Thank you. Chef Sahom is also one of our patrons and one of our graduate of our program to India. Okay, Sukumaran, you didn't come for last night, for our trading in here, but hopefully you can use the insider in here to do the best. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you for coming in here. I do apologize early on for the setup that we have, but apparently there were some issues, but it's been solved in here. And I'll see you on Friday, our breakfast show again. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Good night.